What's up, guys? It's Benny. You knew that this day would come, and now all institutions are pushing back against Candace Owens, Turning Point USA, all of the staff of the Charlie Kirk Show, Erica Kirk with rumors of a lawsuit, and Tim Pool. It's getting ugly out there. Let's cover it. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens sort of breaking the internet with this one 2 days ago, seen by 15 million people, saying that she has now all of the evidence to prove that the leadership of Turning Point USA were involved and betrayed Charlie Kirk to the tune of his murder. I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this godforsaken organization to request a refund, she says. I mean, it's quite an allegation there. So please provide the evidence. Provide the evidence, says Turning Point USA. Here's Charlie's team. Charlie's team now challenging Candace Owens to bring the receipts on a live feed, saying we're going to do a live feed at 2 p.m. local time in Phoenix, 4 p.m. Eastern on Monday, December 15th. Charlie's friends will be there, and they'll respond to every single statement or claim made by Candace Owens with their own receipts to prove, well, their side of the story. So, where's Candace going to be? She's invited to be live streaming live. She said she would be there live. She said she accepts completely and, well, lock in. I think this would be a positive thing. And then she backed out, kind of. She said she can't make it work in person, so she'll be happy to join digitally any day. Again, I still hope that it happens. Tim Pool responded to that viral post saying that she now has all the evidence she needs by saying this: I've received information this morning to put the final pieces together. I can now say with full confidence that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by Candace Owens, some of the very people who claim to be his friend. Yes, I'll be naming names. And I'll be making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated this organization to say thank you. You were lied to, and Candace knew. So this is Tim Pool saying, prove the counterfactual. It's very easy to go out and make these claims if you don't have the evidence. And if you don't have the evidence, then you can go and get a lot of clicks and get a lot of people seeing what you're doing. You could have the #1 podcast. But if you never have to actually present your evidence, then what you're doing is rage bait. And so this is the point that Tim has been making about Candace. Now, they got in a little bit of a spat here where Candace said that Tim accused her of using bots. We've taken $0 from investors. I've never used a bot. Never spent a single dollar on advertising. After my highly publicized firing, we made a conscious decision to come back truly solo. We may actually take it as a major compliment that people think otherwise. Tim Pool saying, we never said you use bots. It's a fake post. We were talking about how Twitch having bot problems and how people boost their shows. I've consistently explained that your show is appealing to larger audiences and women as it is dramatic and emotional. Candace Owens responding, hey, Tim, you might not be aware of this, but the amount of time you're dedicating to me reacting to my show is coming across as emotional and dramatic. Well, that kicked something off. That is for sure. Because in light of the Turning Point USA pushback on Candace, Tim Pool is now, again, going extremely hard in the paint and went scorched earth on Tim Casa IRL last night. In the sociopath influencer world, there's no amount of money that will never be worth it. That's Candace Owens' world. Publishing text, out of context posts, attempting to eviscerate Charlie's legacy seems to be worth every single penny to Candace. So Tim Pool is getting plaudits for this, responding to Candace, going directly at Candace. And then last night's show dropped. She is a effing scumbag, and it's getting worse every single day. We're going to lose the midterms because of Candace Owens and her army of influencers who want to burn TPUSA to the ground and divide and break up the MAGA coalition. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is Tim Pool. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right doing everything to go to war with the organization that helped get Trump elected. Turning Point specifically was going out and registering people to vote. Without Charlie, it's in trouble. Turning Point needs to be able to go out and rally young people and register them to vote. And she's doing everything she can to destroy that. And that is going to
I suppose it's going to rip out the coffers on the right. There is no organization like Turning Point that exists anywhere else that has the resources and the reach. And without Charlie, I'm not sure that they can make it. But I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally, all of the cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her, because she tweets at me talking or whatever, and then a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms. We're gonna lose the midterms. Then we're gonna lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit.
Tim then goes into sort of an evidentiary outlay of how Candace Owens has become more unhinged, in his opinion. Here you go.
What is the purpose of intentionally fanning the flames for 3 endless months of just nonstop retard Candace? Holy crap. You know, initially in the beginning, she brought up some interesting things. New photos had emerged, and I said, wow, I even said this to Andrew Colvett at Turning Point at the beginning of October. Now she's at the point where it is video after video where she's saying it's an inside job. She's saying like, there's a video of the dude, Mikey McCoy, grabbing his phone and making a phone call, and she's acting like that's weird. And then you get this other guy who's claiming that the business is a parking lot. Well, he full well knows businesses can be registered anywhere. To be fair, it's not only just Candace and saying what she's saying. It is all of these people who are like piranhas ripping the right to shreds. And you know what? A lot of cowards on the right being unwilling to say anything about it.
And then I think Tim does a really good job here saying that Democrats are going to exploit the division. And this is just a matter of fact. Democrats are political animals, and they will see the weaknesses here, and they'll use it as an opportunity. I think this, quite frankly, about a lot of people that are tearing at the MAGA or America First agenda, that it is an opportunity, either an op by the left, or an opportunity simply to destroy the winning coalition in this country that won 7 swing states and the popular vote. Here we go.
But what I think is likely to start occurring now is the grifter right is cannibalizing itself. You are going to see the right now move from a populist base more to a neocon base. Democrats are going to go to war internally over the far left, and you'll see the emergence now of these deciding to win types, which, like Stephen A. Smith, will start agreeing with people like me and Joe Rogan. And they're going to try and win back the ground, and they're going to utilize the absurdity, psycho-reality of Candace Owens to rip people from the right so that Democrats can start winning again. And that is the reality the right has to contend with. Conservatives had a coalition. Charlie helped build it. Disaffected liberals came on board. People like Candace are intentionally burning it to the ground. Stephen A. Smith is coming out. Bill Maher even now coming out more reasonably. The Democrats are going to reemerge. Those that sold their souls for woke and to COVID are going to lose out, and they're going to retire. The AOC types, you're going to see her desperately try to moderate. But we're going to see in these swing districts, they're going to try. Now, that being said, hyperpolarization, as I've already described, may affect New York and Los Angeles and Chicago. So we will see it. Maybe it all just gets ripped apart anyway, and you end up with 15 different factions all fighting for power in the federal government.
Tim getting some praise, certainly here online for this. Tim Pool's right about Candace Owens. She's not helping the country. She's damaging the right. Her behavior is helping Democrats. She just postured in front of millions. She's responding to Turning Point announcing saying you could pick the time, pick the place, her exact words, but the moment they actually picked a place and time, suddenly it doesn't work for her. That shows she didn't actually mean it. It's performative. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Pool goes off, calls out conservative influencers as cowards for not speaking up against her effort to derail the midterm. Tim Pool nails it. Candace and her fandus have done more to fracture and demoralize the conservative movement than anything. She explains exactly how it's unfolding, and it's shocking how people refuse to see it. Tim Pool rips Candace Owens. There's no organization like Turning Point without Charlie. I'm not sure that they can make it. I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov cocktail and throwing it through the window is not helping. Insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. I hear that I hear this in the streets at a certain point. It's like, we're going to lose the midterms. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I don't like it. Here's my take. It's pretty simple. It's the take that I've had forever, which goes like this. We have a right to know what happened with Epstein, Thomas Crooks, the J6 pipe bomber, Charlie Kirk. I'm not happy with the transparency on any of those topics. I am frustrated, as I know a lot of the people involved. I don't work at the FBI. I don't have a badge. I don't have a gun. I do have guns, but what I mean is I'm not a federal investigator. I can't make these things just magically appear. However, the infighting, whether it's over Israel and Ukraine or Candace or Fuentes, the infighting, backstabbing, only serves the left. And at scale will destroy the MAGA movement. And so I try, at my level-headed best, to not be a part of it or to pray for bridges to be built. Like, I hope that Candace does the live podcast. I hope she does it, whether in person or not. But I hope she does it. I want to win more than I want to lose, and this is how we lose. And so I'm sick of all of these side quests. The enemy is not only at the gates, but inside of the village, inside of the castle walls, and it's time for us to be smart. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.